Hello, podcast family. Are you ready for a little bit of sweetness? Well, on this week's episode of Speaking of Love, I will be featuring Layla Wallace. Layla is a 15-year-old entrepreneur who has her very own cupcake shop in Kalamazoo, Michigan. Her establishment, Layla's Cool Pops, began as a fourth grade economics project and is now a successful business with a specialty for helping the homeless community. Layla is committed to providing delicious treats with friendly service. I am so honored that Layla and her mom have accepted my invitation to be a part of my podcast. Please tune in this Saturday, August 1st at 12 o'clock noon via Facebook Live. This is a sweet treat that you don't want to miss. We hope to see you there. Okay, we are live. Good afternoon, everyone. I am so happy to be here today. This is going to be a wonderful interview. Good afternoon. My name is Latoya Sanders, and welcome to Speaking of Love, the podcast. I am the podcast producer and the host. My podcast, Speaking of Love, was created as an act of love in memory of my father. My father committed suicide back in March of this year, and I started this podcast as a platform for spreading love. And today, that is exactly what we're going to do. I have an amazing guest here today. Her name is Layla Wallace. Layla is a 15-year-old entrepreneur, and she has her very own cupcake shop called Layla's Cool Pops. So we're going to open and go right up into our interview with Layla. I have Layla's mom here today with her as well. Welcome to the both of you to Speaking of Love. I'm so happy you're here today.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. So Layla, talk to me about this amazing business that you have. I understand that you have a shop, a cupcake shop in Kalamazoo. Talk to me about where your interest in baking began.
It started with the fourth grade economics project. We were supposed to make It started with the fourth grade economics project. We were supposed to make something to sell to our class, and I decided to make Oreo Pops. And I'd always enjoyed baking in general, and I made a good amount of profit for my class. So I was like, oh, I should start a business. And it really I guess I got the motivation from my dad because he started a business before me, but that was really where I got it.
Wow, that's awesome. So how old were you when that happened?
10, I think.
10 years old, and you're 15 now?
Yes, ma'am.
Wow, that's beautiful. So tell me a little bit more about the project and how it all happened, the class project.
So you guys were in economics.
Yes, your economics project.
So with the economics project, I'll help her out a little bit. Her teacher basically just said, we're going to learn about economics. They had to focus on supply, demand, costs, those kinds of things. And so as Layla was developing her project, she said, well, Mom, I want to do something fun. I want to do something cute. So, but she didn't want to do something that everybody else would do, like make bracelets or something like that. And so, because back then I think the rubber band bracelets were in. So she's like, I don't want to do that. I want to do something different. And so we searched online and
we found Cookie Pops, which is an Oreo cookie and then chocolate over it.
Okay, that sounds wonderful. So how did you come up with the name Layla's Cool Pops? Where did that name come from?
To be honest, I have no idea. It was just my little kid brain just came up with something.
Oh my goodness, I love it. So I take it, do you sell cupcake pops or cupcake pops?
Yes, I sell brownies, cupcakes, cake pops, pretzel rods,
Cookie Pops.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, Layla, I've seen you on the news. Tell me about your news interviews and how that all came to be.
I think it was just all up to God. God just gave me a blessing and I'm happy to receive it. I don't know.
And Layla, what I admire about you is that you have started your cupcake business with the promise of helping the homeless people. Where did that come from?
Ever since I was like 6 years old. I never really actually got a proper gift from my friends for my birthday party. I'd ask them to donate canned goods and donations like money so I can give it to the homeless.
Okay, so how do you go about helping the homeless? Like, do you have a homeless organization that you're connected with?
Each week my business donates to a different type of business. It might be the Kalamazoo Gospel Mission or Loaves and Fishes.
There's several other community organizations that we've partnered with, especially since the pandemic. We found ourselves up there with special projects that might pop up in the community that she might make a donation to. We have an organization that we're also a part of that is a collaborative of Black women that chooses to make donations, more significant donations, and so she'll be sewing into that particular organization as well. So it really just depends on the need. But we typically, so far since May, like she said, the Kalamazoo Gospel Mission, Kalamazoo Loaves and Fishes, our YWCA, because their focus is on supporting women and eliminating racism. We've also donated to, I'm forgetting one of the organizations right now. It's on the tip of my tongue. Urban Alliance is an organization, because a lot of what these community organizations are doing is just trying to support our brothers and sisters in need. And that's what Layla wants to do. But beyond that, she's also been saving up money for.
I've been saving up money to get a house for the homeless, so someone would come stay there, and once they can get on their feet, they'll move out and we'd move another family in.
Wow, that is so admirable. Wonderful, Layla. Wonderful. Helping those in need. That is definitely the reason I do what I do. And it's so important to give back, because we are not here for our own benefit here on earth. We are here for the benefit of mankind and helping those, specifically the homeless. And Layla, one of the reasons that I wanted to really interview you is because, of course, you have this amazing business, you're making money and you're providing services, but I was also very touched by the fact that you contribute you make donations to the homeless community. And I really, really admire that. And that's just so amazing.
Thank you.
You are such a selfless young lady. So Layla, do you have any career goals in terms of what you want to do after college, or have you thought that far in advance yet?
Well, I want to continue to help people, and so I probably continue to do Layla School Pops, and hopefully it can be bigger than it is now. I'm going to try to go to college for culinary and business, and we'll see what happens after that.
Oh, that's wonderful, Layla. Wonderful. So you definitely want to continue to be a public servant when you graduate college.
Yes, ma'am.
That's wonderful. Have you thought about any colleges that you may be interested in the future?
CLA, what's yours?
University of North Carolina?
Yeah, University of North Carolina, East Carolina, and UF, maybe.
And some culinary art schools.
Yeah, culinary arts.
Now, Layla, I also understand that you also want to help other teens become entrepreneurs. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
So usually each summer we'll have like a whole bunch of interns from
YOU?
YOU, yeah. And they'll all come and we'll make cupcakes, we'll read a book. I don't know.
Smile and seduce the teens.
Smile. And then we'll read a book and I'll just talk about manners and how we should represent a business. And so this year we haven't because of the pandemic, but that's usually how it goes. We just make cupcakes and get along.
We're going to marketing.
Yeah.
So that's something that happened. Started like 2 years ago in 2018 when Layla said, Mom, gee, wouldn't it be really cool if I could kind of open my own pop-up shop, like my own cupcake shop for a little while. And I'd really like to teach other teens how to do what I do.
Mm-hmm.
And because that's not outside of my wheelhouse in terms of what I do professionally, I said, okay, Layla, I think there might be some grant funding available. I think we might be able to do this. And so the first year we actually had a grant that we were able to work with and work through, where we brought in approximately 10 middle school and high school students to focus on just learning the basics of entrepreneurship, baking, and employment skills. That's really the crux of what we do with the teens. And then, as you can see, we're in Layla's shop, and when we started out, we didn't have all this. I mean, it was bare bones. We had card tables, and we were trying to make it work. But it was still the whole process of getting the teens involved in how do you develop a business, how do you market a business, how do you research your recipes. Well, let's try and experiment, and so you're throwing in the science, along with the community service skills, and so with all of them knowing that proceeds would go to homeless initiatives, and so it's been something that's been growing. This year, even though we haven't been able to host the summer program, we do have weekly cupcakes or curbside pickup. And so Layla has been able to retain one of her staff members that's been with her for the past 3 summers. So this has been phenomenal.
Wow. So speaking of staff members, Layla, how many people do you have on your staff?
Like 5 right now, I think.
Wow, that is awesome. I would love to come to Kalamazoo and take a tour of your shop, Layla. Would that be possible?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh my goodness. And Layla, I'm also an artist. So one of my specialty is cupcakes. So I would love to bring you a personalized cupcake to your shop made by me with your logo on it.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, so we definitely have to plan that, and let's do that sooner than later. Maybe this week I can come out with a gift for you, Layla, just to say thank you and let you know that I'm so proud of you. At 15 years old, you have your head on straight. You're here to help people. You are just an amazing young lady, and I hope to meet you really soon.
Thanks.
Now, Layla, I love a good cupcake, so you have to tell me, what's your best-selling cupcake? Or what's your favorite? I'll say, what's your favorite?
It's probably the best-selling cupcake.
I think the lemon is the best right now, but my favorite one is the dad's favorite, which is a chocolate cake with Reese's in the middle and then milk chocolate frosting and then Reese's on top.
Oh my goodness, that sounds so good. That sounds really good, Layla. So about how many hours a day do you have to work at your shop there, or does it vary?
So right now we just have curbside pickup on Fridays. So usually I'll make them like Thursday night, or I'll wake up, me and my mom and I will wake up early in the morning and make cupcakes on Friday.
And then you have to orders throughout the week.
Yeah.
So Layla, let's say that there's a young lady, let's say a 14-year-old young lady who aspires to do something great in her life like you are. How would you encourage her to go ahead and step out and do it?
I don't know, just do it, because if you don't do it, you just never know how it's going to end up. Like, it could be something amazing and something great, and I don't know, don't ever give up on your dreams.
Okay, that's good. I like that. Don't ever give up on your dreams. Just go ahead and do it. Now, Layla, I am really inspired by you, and I'm quite sure that you have someone who's in the public eye, a celebrity who has inspired you. Who would you say is your inspiration? Or who?
I don't know yet, but I know my parents are, even though they're not famous, but they're famous to me.
Wow. And that's the highest compliment, Mom, that a child could ever give their parent. So kudos to you. That's amazing. Wow. What a beautiful compliment. I have one daughter, and I hope that at some point in her life, I can be that person for her like you are for your daughter. That is so beautiful. Layla, are you the only child? Do you have any sisters or brothers?
I have an older brother, older sister, and a younger brother.
Okay, so you're kind of like almost in the middle, but not quite the middle.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, do they help you with your business?
My younger brother likes eating the cupcakes.
The official taste tester.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's always good. Quality control. You definitely need that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, Layla, do you like to read? Do you have any favorite books you could recommend to my audience?
See, it's not like I don't like reading. I just don't read a lot. So
Okay.
I could give you a book.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay.
But if I can make a recommendation.
Sure, of course.
So one of the very first books when Layla was younger that she recommended that I read as a part of my summer reading was a book by Joanne Fluke.
Okay.
And she writes a series of like murder mystery books, and they're all based on food. They take place in a small fictitious town in Minnesota. And so there'll be things like the blueberry muffin mystery or the chocolate chip cookie mystery. And so while you're reading this book, they're talking about all these delicious foods, and they have all these cool recipes in there. And so she presented this to me when she was like 4, and I was like, okay, sure, honey, I'll read this book because you picked it out for me. It had a pink cover and a cookie on it. So we started reading them, and I fall in love with the series. And it's kind of cool because sometimes we might even experiment and make some of the recipes out of that book. So anything by Joanne Fluke, that's a recommendation for me.
Okay, and that's Joanne Flute, Flute.
Fluke. Fluke.
Okay. Okay. Wow. We'll definitely have to check those out, Layla. That's wonderful. So, Layla, what's next for you? Do you have any big projects coming up here in the future?
Regular hours.
Yeah, probably normal hours. I have some things planned for my school, but I don't know about that yet.
Wow, that's wonderful. Well, Layla, I definitely want to come out and visit you. How can we support you? Where are you located, Mom?
We are located at 1336 Portage Street in Kalamazoo, Michigan. We are also accessible via all online means. You know, we're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Our handle is at Layla's Cool Pops. So if people are local and they'd like to participate in curbside pickup, we highly recommend it and invite them to place an order Mondays and Tuesdays, and they can pick up their cupcakes on Fridays. We also have been introduced to shipping. So we've been receiving orders from all across the country. We are not quite there with the cupcakes yet, but basically everything else on our menu we can ship, and so we're excited.
Wow, that's wonderful. You're going global. You are going global. That is wonderful. So aside from cupcakes, what else do you serve there?
Like I said, cake pops, brownies, Oreo pops, cookie pops. That's the same thing.
Yeah.
Rice Krispies, but we only sell Rice Krispies with like a big,
Like a special order.
yeah. And
She does a lot of catering.
yeah.
And so pretzel rods. Right now we're also in this wonderful tea shop called Chocolati that carries her pretzel rods and cookie pops weekly. So that's been awesome that she's been able to expand to another woman-owned small business here in Kalamazoo area. So I mean, she does lots of different things. I think once we're open with regular hours, that you'll see our menu expand a little bit.
Oh, yes. Wow, that's wonderful. So Mondays and Tuesdays, we can place our orders, and then curbside pickup is on Friday.
Yes.
Okay, wonderful, Layla. And what are your hours on Fridays for pickup?
10 to 2.
From 10 until 2. And that's Layla's Cool Pops in
Yes.
Kalamazoo, Michigan.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
and well, thank you both for being here, Layla. I am super excited for you and your future, and great things are coming your way. Just stay on this path. You definitely have a date with success, and you are headed to that date. I'm super excited for you. And Layla, is there anything else that you would like to say to our audience before you go?
Thank you for watching.
Wow, and thank you both so much for accepting my invitation. I will be coming out to you with a gift, a personalized gift for Layla to hang in her shop. I would love to do that.
Thank you. It has been our honor. Thank you so much, Latoya.
Thank you both so much, and I'll be in touch with you after the podcast.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. And for my viewing audience, I have some other things that I want to talk about today. So Layla and her mom, you're free to go if you have other things to do. You can disconnect. But I'm going to stay on and I'm going to talk to my audience because I have some shout outs that I would like to do today. For those of you who already know me, you know that I am an artist and that I have I make door hangers, one of a kind wooden door hangers. Let me see if I have one. I can show you. So, for example, this is it's an ice cream bar that I made out of Revolution plywood. And as you can see, I have a string on it where you can hang it on your front door. So, this is one of my love projects that I've been working on. And in the community where I make my door hangers, there are several women that I have become really good friends with. We've never met face to face, person to person, but we have an online relationship, a virtual relationship. And these women have become not only my friends, but like sisters to me. So over the week, this past week, I got a gift in the mail from one of my sisters that I met through the organization. Her name is Lisa Allen, and Lisa sent me in the mail this really cute envelope all the way from Alabama. Her company is called Be Still My Art. Be Still My Art. Her name is Lisa Allen. You have to check her out here on Facebook. And inside this envelope, she got me this really cute sticker. And there's a cupcake on the sticker. And it says, "Spread joy, thick like frosting." So I am super excited to reveal this beautiful gift to you today from Lisa Allen. I don't think Lisa's online watching right now. I don't see her, but Lisa sent me this. And then she also sent me this card. And the card says, "The Lord will be your light forever," Isaiah 60, verse 20. So I got this in the mail from Lisa, all the way from Alabama. And the cutest little iron-on lipstick. Lisa and I both, we love our red lipstick. So she got me this cute iron-on. See that? That I could put on my shirt, Lisa Allen from Alabama. And the best part of this package that I received from her, this gift, is the note that she wrote for me. And I'm going to read it to you. It says, "Latoya, girl, I am so proud of you. Thank you for your new platform. Speaking of love, you inspire me in all that you do. Love always, Lisa." So, Lisa Allen, I don't know if you're watching right now, but you'll probably catch this on the replay. Lisa, I just want you to know that I love you and I thank you for supporting me. Thank you for being one of my biggest cheerleaders. You know, what I do is not easy. And, you know, we all have those days where we wonder, am I making a difference? Is what I'm doing significant to someone else? And your gift really just proved that. So thank you so much, Lisa. And now I also have another gift that I received all the way from Australia. As you all remember, a few weeks ago, I had a lady on my podcast, Tanya French. And Tanya wrote a book called Petal, The Other Side of Suicide. And I featured her on my podcast. We talked about her book, and her book, this beautiful book here, was sent to me all the way from Australia as a gift from Tanya French. I really appreciate this. So the way I became connected with Tanya is my father passed away. My father committed suicide. So I was online looking for a book to help me deal with the pain that I was feeling at the time. And it was late at night, and I stumbled upon her book online, Petal, The Other Side of Suicide. And so I read the book, and I couldn't believe how instrumental this book could be to help someone who was grieving. Tanya herself is a survivor. Her husband committed suicide years ago, and she wrote this book about it. And not only is she talking about her story, but she also gives help, tips, and pointers on how to get through such a traumatic experience. So, Tanya French, I want to say thank you to you for sending me a physical copy of your book, because I downloaded the ebook through Amazon. So I'm so happy that I now have this to put in my collection. And it's so special because it came all the way from Australia and it arrived here perfectly flawless. Like, there are no dents, it's not bent. I'm just so happy. So Lisa, Tanya French, thank you so much for this beautiful book. I appreciate you. And I just want to encourage each and every one of you that are watching today to just continue to go forward in positivity. We all have things that we are struggling with in our lives, and we all have problems. But if you just sprinkle a little love everywhere you go, it will help you in the process of what you may be facing. So keep your heads up, be happy, Don't let anything or anyone steal your joy. And when you do have those moments where you're feeling down and out, talk to someone, share your feelings. Have that one person in your life that you can be vulnerable with, that you can open up to and share your feelings, because we never know what battles a person could be struggling with or going through in their lives. So I am here to encourage you. I'm always available to my audience. I love you all so much. If you need to reach me, you can definitely send me a private message or send me an email. I'm always available for you if you need me. And I thank you all for watching this week's episode of Speaking of Love. I am so happy that today was my 14th episode. I never thought that I would make it to 14 episodes, and they have been really, really good. And I've been blessed and fortunate to meet some of the most amazing people, and your stories are also interesting and empowering. And I'm just so grateful. So, this was my 14th episode, my 14th week, and I'm looking forward to next week. I will be back here at 12 o'clock noon to see you, to encourage you, to spread a little love. And if you have anyone or anything that you'd like to talk about on my podcast, reach out to me and let me know, and we can see about having you come on as a guest on Speaking of Love. But remember, in order to be here, you have to be willing to spread a little love. So thank you all so much for watching this week. I really love you, each and every one of you. Oh, and I'm wearing my heart earrings today to represent love. You know, hearts are my life symbol. So thank you all so much for supporting me. Thank you for watching. I love you, and I will see you back here next week on Saturday at 12 o'clock noon with a new guest. Have a great day, everyone.